to another You and Your Uke video. Today we're going to look at a topic which is quite a big topic, in fact so big I haven't been that sure where to start and where to finish. But I think this will probably be just a basic introduction to the idea. What we're looking at is doing some melodic runs, but not just melodic runs in single notes. So a melodic run with a note and then a harmonising note, and we're looking at a particular harmony. We're looking at the harmony of thirds. Now this is used in all sorts of music, in folk and country, bluegrass. It's used a lot in rock, it's used a lot in pop, used a lot in Hawaiian, so lots of things that you would play on the ukulele. This is a really useful harmony to have under your fingers. Before we explain and talk about what thirds actually are, let's just get a feel of how these sound. So we're in the key of C. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's just a little improvisation in C, mainly using thirds in harmony. Okay, so what do we mean? Let's think about the scale of C as we're playing in C major. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. C, D, E, first three notes. We take that first note and the third note, then that's C and E. That's a third harmony. If you go D, E, F, D, E, F, there's your D, there's your F, that's also a third harmony. E, F, G, there's an E note. That's the third harmony. So there's your first three notes of the scale, and here they are with added thirds. So you get the idea of what third harmonies sound like and also how they're built up. Of course, if you're in a different scale, so if you're playing in G major, there's your G, A, B. That's enough music theory. What I really want to look at are the finger patterns that will give you some thirds to practice and play with, and then work out how to use them. Okay, for that, useful if you can zoom in. Come and have a look. Okay, so the first pattern we're going to look at is the pattern that works on strings 1 and 3. It also works on strings 2 and 4. So from a starting position here, where I have my first finger behind the 3rd fret on string 1, my second finger on the 4th fret of string 3. We're then going to move that, so the 4th string is just going to come up 1 fret. The first string is going to come up 2 frets to here, but that's awkward, so I'm going to play it with my 3rd finger. So we're going from there to there and back, and that's a really useful pattern to get to know. So only 2 shapes to think about here. let's go further. Take that up 2 frets, back 2 frets, and there's various ways of playing that. At the moment I'm just pinching the 2 together, but how about picking them? How about throwing some slides in? How about dropping down the semitone for one of the corniest endings known to man? Now, we can move that whole thing over. So instead of working on strings 1 and 3, we're working on strings 2 and 4 and keep the same shape. The run on strings 1 and 3 is a run off a C major chord. The run off strings 2 and 4 is a run for a G major chord. Missed them. Let's try again. That's better. Now we can extend that run, so that's the 3rd harmony run off the 3 notes of the C major scale. But let's take it for the first 5 notes. We've only used 2 shapes. There's shape 1, there's shape 2. So, shape 1, shape 2, slide that up 2 frets. Go up to shape 1 again but higher up, and then 2 frets, still shape 1, 2 frets, shape 2, all of these are 3rd harmonies. We can move that over to strings 2 and 4. In fact, really those first 3 notes are so useful, and you very rarely need to get up to this dusty end of the keyboard, but it's useful to know where the shapes go. And you will see if you look carefully at that pattern, you can kind of figure out what the run is. Okay, we're going to have a look at a different selection of shapes that you can play 3rd runs in. So the next pattern of shapes that we're going to look at to give us a run of 3rds is one that you can use on strings 1 and 2 and then shift the same pattern over to strings 3 and 4. Let's have a look at the pattern first of all. So I'm going to put my first finger behind the 2nd fret on string 1, my 2nd finger behind the 3rd fret on string 2, and there is that familiar sound of a third harmony. So as we go up the fretboard, I'm going to move my first finger up just 1 fret, and I'm going to play using my third finger because it's more convenient than that stretch. 2 frets up to fret 5. So we've gone from frets 1 and 2 to frets 3 and 5 on that first and second string. I'll try and get that finger out the way. There you go. Okay. So get that switch there comfortable first, then take that whole shape up 2 frets, and then finally move your third finger up 1 fret, and I'm going to use the second finger again here on the fret behind that, so using that first shape that we got again. So there's the first shape, second shape again, first shape again. And that's the third run off a G chord. And we can bring that whole run over to strings 3 and 4. Which gives you a run off a B flat chord. So the final pattern and run we're going to look at is one which works on the 2 middle strings. That's strings C and E, and as you all know, that's already a third. C, D, E. So that is an open third. We're going to play finger 1 on string 2 behind the first fret, finger 2 on fret 2 on string 3. Move the whole shape up 2 frets, and then move string 3 up 1 fret and bring your third finger in beside it on string 2. Move that whole shape up 2 frets. And you can go further if you like. Back to your original shape, up 2 frets. Let's look at that run again. I don't know if you know the song Banks of the OIO, you can kind of play that. It's one of those songs that works really nicely in thirds. I'm gonna say that you'll be mine in no other's arms entwined, down beside where the waters flow, down by the banks of the OIO. It's another run in C major. Okay, so there's a few different runs there using these harmonies that we call thirds because of their relationship to each other in different scales. But you don't just kind of want to sit down and play these runs for the sake of it. Where would you put them? I'm going to just have a look at one song using thirds. When you get into playing these, you will probably overuse them to start with, and that's fine, because that way they come underneath your fingers. It's then after you've done that, after you become familiar with them, you kind of think, well, how will you use these musically? So maybe if you're playing a song, you might play the first verse straight and then bring in some thirds as runs at the end of lines, or you might want to use thirds in a solo section. Let's just have a quick look at how you might use thirds in a song, and zoom in again so you can see the fretboard quite closely, so you can kind of see how and where I'm using them. Okay, so let's have a go at our old favourite You Are My Sunshine. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are grey. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. Okay, possibly overusing them there a bit, but you get the idea. That's using thirds with chords to make a song more interesting. Okay, that concludes our brief look at thirds. There are loads more positions you will find to build some runs using third harmonies, and of course lots of other harmonies, fourths, fifths, sixths. But for now, it's something for you to practice, play around with, see how you can build them into your song accompaniment, see how you can maybe even write tunes with them, or use them to embellish other sorts of playing. But I'll leave it there. There's plenty of things for you to get your head round and your fingers round. Try and use your ears more than your brain, but it is useful to have a think about what builds up third harmonies. And we haven't really talked about the difference between major thirds and minor thirds. That's for another time, because we're kind of using a combination of them in these runs. But for now, let's leave it. Have a fun time with this. I'm going to leave you, well, how else can I leave you but with this? See you soon.